I get quite a few questions about formation depth for infantry, and I think the benefits of formation depth and width in relation to taking skirmish fire, I'll put the link in the description, but that has been decisively settled. Also, the question of how deep to be against enemy cavalry, I think that question also has been decisively settled. Again, I'll put the link in the description. Now, what hasn't been answered, in my opinion, decisively or convincingly, is how formation width and depth affects performance against enemy infantry units, and there are many variables to take into consideration. First of all, we're going to be testing Hirdman up against Hirdman, and on my side I have my Hirdman 3 ranks deep, 4 ranks deep, 5 ranks deep, 6 ranks deep, spaghetti line, and loose formation. I could call this noodle formation, actually. And on the opposite side, we have Hirdman in, let's see, 2 ranks deep, 2 ranks deep, 2 ranks deep, 2 ranks deep all across the line. So the sort of the control unit is going to be 2 ranks deep, while all the different conditions on my side here are going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. Spaghetti and noodle. Now, the theory here is that the wider an infantry formation is, the better it's going to perform, because a wider formation is going to be able to wrap around a narrower formation, and that is going to enable, let's just pause it here when that happens. Yeah, you can see it fairly decisively here. What happens here when these units on the side start wrapping around is that they will of course be surrounding this formation, and on this side here, now let's see, it gets a bit confusing here. Yeah, on this side, the enemy units will be attacking these herdmen in the side that is unprotected by a shield. That also matters in melee. So if you're able to wrap around on this side of the unit, these units are going to be hitting the side that has less protection, and that starts to matter quite a bit in a melee that goes on for a while, and these units are going to take quite some time in killing each other. So over here as well, all of these units are going to be wrapped around, wrap around, wrap around. Over here though, this is where things get interesting in my opinion, because here we have a loose formation, and the loose formation enables these herdmen to wrap around to a significant degree. These units are running around and wrapping around. Over here, the spaghetti line also wrapping around 2 ranks deep. So all of my units, let's see, here it is, the combat is even. I think I'll just have to fast forward this here so we can get this done. And you can see the combats are fairly even all across the line here. You can also see the annoying thing that happens here if, let's say this is a battle and I'm microing. Depending on which angle I'm looking at the units from, the one unit overlaps the other. The one unit icon overlaps the other, which could cause some significant miss micro, and indeed has caused some significant miss micro in my battles, and I know it has done so in other people's battles as well. But you can see that the unit that does the best job here is the unit that was in noodle formation, which means spread as wide as possible and in loose formation. And that is the only formation that is able to decisively defeat the enemy herdman. It was the last one to engage, but it's going to be the first engagement that ends. And that is quite amazing to me. Now, over here on the other side, 3 ranks deep is going to lose. But let's have a look over here. 2 of my units have won. And the common factor in these engagements is that in both of these engagements my formation was wider. In all of the engagements where my formation is narrower, I'm losing. So I don't think I need to say much more about the mechanics at work here. It's fairly obvious what happens. I'm losing here. I'm going to lose here, and I'm going to lose here. So out of 6 engagements, the 2 engagements I was able to win were engagements where I was wider than the enemy formation, and in all the other instances I do worse. So draw your own conclusions from that. Now, just to sum up a bit here, there will be different results for different units depending on precursors, charge bonuses, armor, health, all of that. However, just to sum up, against skirmish fire, it's better the wider you are, and loose formation is better than being in a block formation and so on. In infantry against infantry engagements, units of similar mass and similar charge capabilities, it's going to be better the wider you are. Against enemy cavalry, things start looking a bit different, because bracing bonuses do help infantry soaking up cavalry damage. However, I will be making a video in one of the coming days showcasing just why some of you are completely off base when you say that it's worse to be in a spaghetti line against cavalry than it is to be in a denser formation. It's just when you are isolating a single cavalry unit against a single melee unit and you try to make that melee unit survive for as long as possible, yes, there is something to that, but it's not quite as simple in a battle scenario. And again, I will make a video explaining this in much more detail, but in the meantime I'm going to put the links to the video about skirmishing and formation depth and cavalry versus different formation depths, and here you have one video about formation depth and infantry engagement. So there are very, very, very few instances where it's better to have the deeper formation. Strength and honor.